Hi, my dear friends. Good morning to all of you. I hope you're all doing well in your studies, watching the videos, and writing down the notes and reading the books again and again. That way, you will keep yourself updated and fresh with regard to the knowledge, with regard to the ideas that are described in the book. And so don't just give up, don't feel lazy, but work hard for your success. And we are talking about development. In the last few classes we have been talking about development. What are the problems that we face, what is the criterion for checking the development, and so on. We saw not only just money alone, but other facilities like education, health, atmosphere. All these are included in order to find out the real development. And today let us see about another topic, the sustainability of development. So we just achieve success or development, that alone is not enough. We need to keep it up. We need to continue that growth of development. We cannot just achieve development then go towards downside. No. We need to keep it up. We need to sustain. That's the meaning of sustainability. You need to continue in the same level. You must go higher and higher, not coming down. So once we achieve development, we should keep it up. Let us see what are the challenges ahead. What are the difficulties that we face in order to sustain that development. So one of the things that we find is that we overuse our resources. We overuse more than what is required. We use and we try to finish it up, all our resources. So that is one problem that we face. For example, groundwater. Groundwater. We said with regard to agriculture, the introduction of the green revolution, especially in the northern states like Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh. The government introduced green revolution and it produced a lot. The effect was very high. It gave a lot of good products. But for that we had to use a lot of inputs like water, irrigation is required, fertilizer was required, pesticide required, and so on. So one thing that is essential for the use of this high yielding variety of seeds is the irrigation. It needs a lot of water. In the case of lack of water, it is not going to be successful. It is not going to bear much fruit. Therefore, irrigation was a very important part in order to produce it. It had a very great role to play. And so, most of the farmers have their own private borewells and they pump water from the borewell and they water their field, irrigate their fields. And so they go on constantly pumping out water from the ground, from under the ground. And so the level of water under the earth is going down and down. And so the top part of the earth remains dry. The water level is going down and down. Top part becomes dry and dry. So that is one problem that we face. So it is said that for the last 20 years, during the last 20 years, people, especially the farmers, they have overused this groundwater and therefore the groundwater level has gone down by 4 meters. You can imagine 4 meters, such a long distance. Within last 20 years, the water level has gone down 4 meters. Then next another 20 years, it may be 5 meters more down. Again another 20 years, it may be 6 meters more down. So it will be the earth will be becoming drier and drier, or hotter and hotter, because of the lack of this groundwater. The top part of the earth will be dry, the trees will not be able to survive, the plants will not be able to survive, and so on. So that is one thing that we face. So on the one hand we need development, but at the same time we need to sustain that development. So if you go on using this groundwater, which is going deeper and deeper, after a few years there will not be groundwater, or it will be very deep. It will be very difficult to take it out. So the development is taking place on the one side. On the other side, we are destroying the nature, the environment. We are making the earth drier and drier. Therefore, we need to take care. We should not overuse it. We may use this groundwater to a certain extent, to a certain level. We should not go on pumping out the maximum, so that the water level may go down and down. So we should make sure that we use only what is required or what is allowed. Beyond a certain limit, we should not overuse this water. That is one thing that we need to take care. Then we know this groundwater is a renewable resource. It can be renewed. How will you renew rainwater or the groundwater? So each time when the precipitation takes place, the rain comes down, the water is sinking down to the earth. So we must make sure that more and more rainwater is sinking down to the earth. We must make provision for that. If the land is a slopy land, then all the water will flow down and finally it will reach the sea. It will not sink down. So we must make sure that our land is prepared, the earth is prepared in a way to absorb more rainwater to the ground, so that the water level will remain higher and higher, not going down. So for that we need to take care. In most of the places now we see the places are filled with concrete, the courtyards are filled with cement, and there is no place for the water to sink down. It is just flowing downwards. So we are responsible for the sinking of the ground level water. So it is because of our carelessness. We are looking for our own comfort, we are looking for our own beauty, and therefore we concretize everywhere, and as a result the water is not able to sink down to the ground. That is one problem that we face. Then another thing that we face is the crude oil. So groundwater is one thing. Second one is crude oil. You know what is crude oil? The oil that is extracted from the earth, that is crude oil in its impure form. So before it is purified, it is called crude oil. So we know we cannot think about this present world, a world without oil, because everything that we see around is functioning with oil. The vehicles that are running, the machines that are running, the flights that are running, everything is running on fuel, trains, everything. So the oil, without this oil, we cannot think about our world now. Our world will go back centuries back if the oil supply is over means. So therefore we need to take care. We should not overuse it. This crude oil is not a renewable. We said groundwater is a renewable resource. We can renew it again and again because rain comes down every year. But this crude oil is not renewable. It is non-renewable. Whatever we use, it is finished. We cannot bring it back. So we need to be careful. And it is said that the source of oil that is under the earth, the oil collection is getting over. It can last only few more years. If we go on using at this present level, this oil can last only few more years. It is said that in the Middle East, that is the Gulf countries, that is the richest in the oil production. They have a lot of oil fields are there, lot of oil collection is there under the earth. So they are very rich. So it is said that they have got 808.5 million barrels are there. They have so much of reserves are there. So much oil is there. 808.5 million barrels. And that is sufficient for 78.1 years. So after 78.1 more year. So this data was prepared in 2013. So already 7-8 years have been over. So now maybe only just 71 years more. So that is not very far. It's only just one human lifespan. So after 78 years or next another 71 years more afterwards, what will happen? There will be no more oil available. What is available now is sufficient only for 78 years. Then the United States of America, in America we see they have very few, only 44.2 million barrels reserves are there. Only so much collection is there for them. So that will get over very fast. It is sufficient only for just 12.1 years. So that will get over very fast. And if you look at the whole world, how much of oil collection is there, reserves are there. The whole world it is 1687.9. 1689 million barrels. This is the total amount of oil available in the world. So after a few years, anything can happen. It will get over and there will be no more oils available. So fortunately, here and there under the earth we are finding out new oil production, oil field. So that is how the world is surviving. We are finding out new oil fields from under the earth. Otherwise, this production would have been over long ago, and people would have gone back to the olden lifestyle where we will be using bullock carts, cycles, and so on. So cycle will be the most luxurious vehicle because it can run without oil and so on. So it is going to be a very dangerous situation. So we are using the oil for development to run modern machines, vehicles, and so on. So when we use more than what is required, then we are overusing it. We are spending it, and we cannot get back what we have already spent. So even for a simple purpose, if we want to go out, we use the vehicle. Even if it is only 5 minutes walk, we take a vehicle and go, and the oil is spent. We may be going to buy a 10 rupees thing, but we go by vehicle and we spend much more than what is the price of the thing by using the vehicle. So if we can reduce the maximum or reduce to minimum the use of the vehicle, only in the case of emergency, not just for showing off, not just for our comfort and so on, but use it only when it is necessary. That way we can spare a lot of oil and the oil production can last for long. So we should not misuse it, we should not overuse it and so on. Then only we can really say that we are able to have this sustainable development. Because development is required and therefore oil also is required. So use it for what is the most important, not just for buying for fun and spending it for fun and so on. So we need to be very careful in using it. Then only we can really say our development is a sustainable one. Otherwise we will be developing for some time, then suddenly we will be falling down and we will have no more way to development. We have no more source to develop and we will be really in a very critical, pathetic situation. So that should not happen to us. That's why everyone is warning us, the scientists, the philosophers, they are all warning us that great danger is awaiting the humanity, the whole earth. After a few years, if we go on developing at this stage by using up all these resources without any thinking for the future, without any thinking about our future generation, we are just going on using it and we are going to destroy it. So it is said that the world belongs to the future generation. So whatever we have, we are not inheriting from our forefathers, but we are just borrowing from our future generation, from our children. So it belongs to them. We have to give to them. We have borrowed from them. We have to give it back to them. So that should be our attitude. We should not think that I want to enjoy maximum, I want to use maximum, whether it is going to be there for others or not, I don't care. So such a kind of attitude we have to remove from our heart, from our mind. Then only we can really think about development without destroying the nature, without destroying the future of others and so on. We must care for others and we must make all these things available for others as well. So if this environment is degraded, so we degrade our environment by different human activities, by destroying the forest, by increasing the vehicle, we increase the amount of carbon dioxide and the air is getting polluted, the atmosphere is getting polluted, the environment is getting polluted, everything is polluted because we are increasing our human activities by increasing number of vehicles, by increasing number of factories and so on, and by increasing the use of plastics. All these things are destroying the nature and our environment is getting degraded. So that is the real problem that we are facing. So we need to say our future is linked with the sustainability of development. If there is no sustainability, then there will be no future for us. We cannot predict what will happen. We said after a few years, the oil collection, the oil reserve will be getting over. And the earth will become drier and drier because we are overusing the groundwater. So we need to do something in order to bring it back to the normalcy, and at the same time we cannot completely stop our development. Our development should go on but should not be at the expense of others, the future generation. We must preserve something for the future generation as well. That is very important. So it is very much needed in our society, and as we who are already aware about it, if we go and talk to about sustainable development to our grandfathers and so on, they may not understand what it is. But we who are already educated, we who already aware about these problems, the threat that we are going to face in the future, we need to be aware about it and we need to do something about it. So in our own life we have to make certain decisions that I am going to sustain my earth by reducing the overuse of natural resources. I will contribute something to the nature, maybe by helping to get this groundwater or the rainwater sink into the ground and increase the level of groundwater. So if all the rainwater is able to sink into the earth, then naturally the groundwater level will come up and our earth will become fertile once more. It will be able to produce more green vegetables and green plants and so on. So therefore it is our responsibility to make others also aware about it, at the same time take every precaution to improve the production of various things on the earth. That means the development should go on but not at the expense of the mother earth. So we must keep the resources also in a sustained way, not to deplete it and not to overuse it, but use it only what is required and therefore keep it for the future use as well. So that is what we have to learn about the sustainable development. So development is needed, but it should be sustained as well. You should not just one time develop, then come down again, then lose everything. That should not be. So we should have proper planning. That's why the government and others, they're all, the officers, the engineers, they're all having this thought in their mind. The scientists, they're all having thoughts in their mind. They have meetings from time to time to discuss about the problems that we are facing, about the environment, about the problems, all that. So they try to give us guidelines, directions. So try to listen to them and follow their directions in our life, and cooperate with the government, cooperate with the global agency in order to overcome these problems. So we come to the end of this lesson with this topic, sustainable development, and I hope you all understood. And if you have any doubt, you are free to ask me, free to text me in the comment box, and I will try to clarify your doubts and so on. Now let us see few exercises that are given at the end of this lesson. So take your textbooks, see page number 16. So the exercises, there is choose from the brackets the correct answer. So 3-4 options are given there, we have to choose. The first one says development of a country can generally be determined by. So how to determine the development of a country? So 4 options are there. One is its per capita income. Per capita income means the average income. Then its average literacy level, health status of its people, and all the above. So we said one factor alone cannot decide whether about the development of a country. So all the above, that is the answer. So the per capita income, the average literacy level, and the health status, all these 3 are needed in order to really find out the development status of a people. Then second one, which of the following neighboring countries has better performance in terms of human development than India? So in the other class we saw the neighboring countries of India, the countries in the Asian continent, and one country is doing better than India. What is that one? The answer is Sri Lanka. Then number 3, assume there are 4 families in a country. So in a country, if there are 4 families, the average per capita income of these families is 5,000. So all the 4 families put together their income and divide with 4, then the average income is 5,000. And if the income of 3 families rupees 4,000, rupees 7,000, rupees 3,000 respectively, what is the income of the 4th family? So total we saw it is 4 families average income is 5,000. So in order to find out the total income, we have to multiply with the number of families. The average income should be multiplied with the number of families. So average income is 5,000 and the number of families is 4. So 5,000 into 4, we have to multiply and we get the answer 20,000. And so 3 families income is already given here, 4,000, 7,000 and 3,000. That means total how many already? 4,000, 7,000, 3,000 together it becomes 14,000. So we saw the total is 20,000. So how much is there? 20,000 minus 14,000 and we get the answer 6,000. So the answer is 6,000. So that is the objective type of questions and answers. And the rest of the answers I will send it in the WhatsApp group. You will be able to copy it down from there and you need to submit to me within 2 days. So I'll be entering your marks in the notebook and it will be kept as a record. So the internal marks will depend on whether you submit your assignments in correct time or not. So don't feel lazy, but work hard and do the works properly. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.